Hello, vinyl community, and thank you once again for tuning into Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I appreciate it very much. As promised, I'm going to do a review today on the Phil Collins Hello, I Must Be Going new pressing released by Analogue Productions as part of their Atlantic 75 series. And very similar to Face Value that Phil Collins, his first solo album that they released a month ago, this is done equally as well. As you can tell, let me take the cover off it. The jacket, tip-on old style type jacket, impressive work. I mean, it's sturdy, it's strong, it's glossy, it looks great. True to the original, it's a bifold. Just an excellent job that they are doing here. I'm hoping you can see that well. The back side equally is wonderful and beautiful. Listing of the songs. This number is number 000614. I think that's a nice touch that Analogue Productions is doing in numbering these releases. I don't know if there's a limit on the number that they're releasing, but it's neat to have a number associated with it. I think that's kind of a neat thing. The album itself is extremely well done. The pressing is incredible. Of course, this was mastered by Chris Bellman at Bernie Grundman Studios. It's incredible sounding. It best my original copy by a bunch, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about that here in a few moments, but great job. 45 RPM dual album because of the 45 RPM. Of course, the albums are absolutely immaculate. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see, but they're clean. They don't have any dirt or anything. I clean my records anyway before I play them, even though they're brand new. But this is absolutely beautiful. Great job of pressing these albums. They just do a wonderful, wonderful job. So as indicated, the vinyl is just absolutely immaculate. This is side 3. Once again, just like the first album, side 1 and 2, absolutely beautiful vinyl. And the thing that's really neat about this vinyl, at least in my opinion, is they are so darn quiet. The albums are just quiet, and I think that has a huge impact on the sound that we're hearing, and maybe why we're hearing such a difference between these new remastered albums as part of this Atlantic 75 in comparison to their original master, or the original records that we have. I think that quietness really plays a huge role in the definite quality of the sound that we get. As indicated, this was remastered by Chris Bellman at Bernie Grundman Studio. What they did is they took the 1/4 inch, it was a 1/4 inch Dolby EQ'd copy of the original master tape, and then they remastered that and then right to lacquer. And then of course, then that goes to QRP for pressing. But boy, the sound quality on this album is just phenomenal. Very similar to Face Value. The differences between those albums compared to their original counterparts are pretty impressive. A great example of the quality of the sound on this pressing is just put on side 1 and listen to the first track on the album, which is I Don't Care Anymore. You'll hear number 1, you'll hear a very quiet background on the vinyl, which is really, I think, part of the success of these new pressings is the quiet background on this vinyl. But you'll notice immediately the drums. Phil's drums are just up front, well-defined, not overbearing in any way, shape, or form, but very authoritative and very well-defined and very clean. Very clean. The mix is entirely clean. There's spacing between the instruments. I think that's really a huge part of this new remastering, is I think they're taking their time, and I think, once again, my own personal observations anyway, is the quietness of the vinyl is also aiding in bringing out that impressive clarity on the album and on the tracks. I think the next cut on the album on side 1 is I Cannot Believe It's True. That track might be my favorite on the album. It's just incredible. The horns in that track are incredible. They're not edgy, they're not over bright. They're absolutely mixed and sounding so coherent with all the rest of the instruments, along with Phil's voice. It's just really incredible. And as well, a lot of you know, and he did this on his first album as well, Phil's drums kind of have that reverb. And I think he was one of the first ones to maybe do this, I'm not sure. But that reverb, and it just makes the drum sound so incredibly different. Some people like that and some people don't. I personally think it's a really nice touch, especially on the music that he is doing. But on I Cannot Believe It's True, the drums are excellent in there, but the horn section and how it all blends together is absolutely phenomenal. It's a great track and might be one of the best tracks on the album. Moving on to side 2, the first track on side 2, Do You Know, Do You Care, starts off very slow and very low in volume, and then of course builds. Yet another example of just how quiet the vinyl is and how important that the quietness of the vinyl is to these repressings. I think it is really a huge factor in the overall sound quality that we're getting, and why these pressings are such better sounding versions of these albums. This, of course, is just my opinion, but that's at least what I say. The next song on side 2 is You Can't Hurry Love, which was probably another one of his songs on the album that got quite a lot of playing time and was pretty much a pretty good hit. Moving on to side 3, the first track on side 3, It Don't Matter to Me. Horns, once again, in this song are really, really done well. There's no over brightness. There's just proper separation between instruments. Good imaging as well. Drums, once again, are just absolutely done perfectly well with proper weight, but they're not overbearing like some remastering jobs can be. They're just done absolutely wonderful. Really, to me, another one of the best songs on the album, Through These Walls, is actually a demo-worthy cut. The drums in this album are excellent. They sound phenomenal. Probably one of my favorite cuts on the album as well. Side 3 was a lot of fun to listen to, and I did listen to it over and over. But really, really a nice sounding album. And then finally, side 4 has 3 songs on it that are absolutely all wonderful. The first song is Don't Let Him Steal Your Heart Away. Great sounding song. Piano at the entry there is wonderful. Very, very nice sounding cut on the album. Everything is in its place. There's a clarity to it that's just really makes you want to listen to it time and time again. The next song is called West Side, and for the very most part, it's an instrumental song. Sounds great. That could be a demo worthy song on the album. And then, of course, the last song on the album is Why Can't It Wait Till Morning? A very nice song. I think that was probably one of Phil's later on, I think that became more of a hit after the album had been out for a little bit here in the United States. Great song. But overall, the pressing that Analogue Productions, as part of this Atlantic 75, nope, not a lot different than face value. It's just done well. It sounds better than the original. My original, of course, it's an original 1982 pressing. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the differences between the covers. Of course, this one is the original. It's 1982, so it's had a little bit of use on it for sure. And then, of course, the Atlantic 75 Analogue Productions. Very nice, shiny, good album. My copy of the vinyl record of the album is clean. It sounds very, very nice. It certainly does. The Atlantic Analogue Productions version is significantly better. Obviously, it just sounds quite a bit different in the way of just clean and clear. Kind of sounds like there's no compression. Not saying that there was compression originally, but it's just a more open and well-defined. You know, and in my analysis, I keep reiterating this, but the quietness of the vinyl, I think, has a huge part of why these new pressings sound so good. Is that the vinyl is really quite quiet. Is it, you know, $60 is a lot to pay for a 45 RPM double album when you can pick up an original like mine on Discogs. I think they can be picked up for around $5 to $10 in very good plus to near mint condition. So I guess the question is it worth $60 when, if you already have one, or you could get one for $10 an original pressing? Is it worth $60 if you're a big, huge Phil Collins fan, and if you like your music to sound as best as it possibly can, like I do? Sound quality is a huge thing for me in my listening endeavors. When I sit down and listen to music, I want to hear the best I can hear. And when I put this album on, the Analogue Productions version, it's very obvious and immediate that it is a much better sounding album. So really, it's all up to personal taste, how you feel. If you're into Phil Collins and you really like him and his music, going back to the Genesis. Incidentally, I haven't really purchased any of the Genesis albums as part of the Atlantic 75. I've got all the ones that they've released so far. I've got them on original pressings. I never really pull them out and listen to them a lot. The Lamb Lays Down on Broadway is probably the one that I listen to the most, but I just don't listen to it enough to pay $120 to purchase the new pressing as part of the Atlantic 75 series. So I thought about maybe purchasing it on SACD, but I haven't done that yet either. But I do really enjoy Phil Collins, and I do love his music. I know him well, but here again, it's personal choice. The original sounds good. It's a good sounding version of the album, but the Analogue Productions and Atlantic 75 pressing is very obvious, and it is a much better pressing. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this has helped you out if you're on the bench, whether you're going to buy the Atlantic 75 or not. I hope this helps you out. It is a better copy for sure. Sounds wonderful. It's just a matter of whether it's worth that $60 to you or not. As always, please leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like what you're seeing, please go ahead and subscribe as well. That'd be great. That way you can kind of know when a new video pops out. Should be doing the Van Halen one-step, Mobile Fidelity one-step, review here in the next few days. Also, I'm going to be doing a video on my favorite releases of 2023. So I'm going to be doing that video. That's going to be coming out right away as well. So anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. And once again, important to me, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you and have a great day.